So this is our next lesson for probability, and we're going to be doing probability tree diagrams. So my tablet has decided not to work on my school computer, so I'm going to be hopping from my home computer to my school computer. So you might see some of that. So let's look at question 1. So this says, given that there's 5 red balls and 2 blue balls, what's the probability that after 2 picks we have a red ball and a blue ball? Now that's quite simple, isn't it? So probabilities, so in total there's 7 balls. The probability that I pick a red ball is 5 out of 7, and the probability I pick a green one will be 2 out of 7. Now let's say I take that ball and I keep it with me. So I put it in my pocket, or I put it in my bag. So how many red balls are there remaining? There used to be 5. So if in my first pick, I picked up red, okay, I will only have 4 red balls remaining. Okay, so the probability that I will pick another red ball is 4. And obviously the total will go down by 1 because I've already removed a ball. So for example, if I'm here, if I show you, here's my little bag, and I've got 5 reds and 2 blues, so blue and blue. Now in my first pick, if I take out a red ball, okay, so I've taken a red one out, what I have left is that. I have 4 out of 6 red balls left, and hence the probability of the blue, I haven't touched the blue. So there were 2 blues before, there's still 2 blues right now. So I will have 2 blue balls. On the contrary, if I picked up a blue ball to start with, so this is the probability that if I picked a blue, not a red ball. So if I picked up a blue ball, then of course the total is going to go down by 6 because I've picked a blue ball. And probability of picking a red will remain 5 because the red are intact. And blue will be 1/6. Okay? So let's look at the different question here. So it says, given that there's 5, okay, so we've got that, what's the probability after 2 picks of having a red and a blue? So a red and a blue. So you could have 2 different possibilities here. So you could start off with a red and a blue, or a blue and a red. So let's go back here. So I want where's my pen? Oh, there we are. You want a red and a blue, or a blue and a red. So let's go back. What's the probability of getting a red? 5/7, then a blue, 2/6. So here I'm going to be writing 5/7, blue was 2/6, and in probability means to multiply. That's my first possibility of red and blue, or means to add. Let's look at blue and red. Probability of a blue is 2/7, and then a red is 5/6. So 2/7 and means to multiply 5/6. That will give me, what would that give me? So pause and do this, do the calculations. So that should give you 10 out of 42 plus 2 times 5, another 10 out of 42. So the answer will be 20 over 42. And then if you want, you can simplify that as well. Okay. So then moving on, a little bit of a summary. So this is what with replacement and without replacement means. So with replacement means that I've taken the ball, for example, and I put it back. Okay, so I put it back. That's with replacement. I've taken something from the bag, I've seen what I get, I've noted that colour, and I've put it back. Without replacement is the example that we just saw. So I take a ball and I don't put it back. That's without replacement. Okay, that bag will have one less item each time you choose something. So let's have a look at another example. Okay, so let's have a look at an example that is without replacement. So it says a bag contains 5 red counters and 3 white counters. Sarah takes a counter at random from the bag. She notes the colour, so she notes it, and then she puts it back into that bag, so she replaces it. Rosie then takes a counter at random from the bag. So it says complete the probability table. So you should know if that's 5/8, that will just be 3 out of 8 instantly. We know that. So if we've picked white, I've put it back into the bag. So this will not affect what I do next. Okay, because it's with replacement. She's put the counter back into the bag. And then red would be 5/8, 3/8, 5/8. So the first event does not affect the second event. Okay, they're also independent events if you want to recall from last week. So let's look at part B. Work out the probability that both Sarah and Rosie take a red counter. Taking a red counter, so that means red for Rosie and red for Sarah. Okay, so let's have a look. So if Sarah goes first, picking a red counter is 5/8. So picking a red counter is 5/8 and means to multiply. Red counter for Rosie is also 5/8 and you multiply that through and you will get your answer. Okay, next one. Work out the probability that only one of the counters taken is red. So only one counter is red. So you can have white and red, or you can have red and white. So white and red is 3/8 times by 5/8. Red and white is 5/8 times by 3/8. Okay, and then you add them together because or means to add. We'll look at that in our next video. Okay, thank you.